Listen up. We're at a point now where infanticide is not only acceptable, but loudly applauded. With everything that has come to light in the last few weeks, we're covering it all in just a few minutes. The celebration and acceptance of the pro-choice platform is perpetuated by these putrid yet profitable positions, and it starts with politicians. Even after the opinion on Roe v. Wade was presented, abortions were thought to be safe, legal, and rare. But in Virginia, a state for lovers, but clearly not for babies, last week heard Bill H.R. 2491 calling for abortions to be allowed even when the woman was in the process of birthing a full-grown baby.
She's dilating.
Mr. Chairman, that would be a decision that the doctor, the physician, and the woman would make.
I understand that. I'm asking
point.
if your bill allows that.
My bill would allow that, yes.
On the same day, that same woman, Virginia House Democrat Kathy Tran, submitted a bill to save cankerworms. For Tran, the cankerworms are to be saved, but the pests known as children should be purged. At the moment, the bill is tabled. Her fellow Democrat and the state's governor, Dr. Rolf Northam, speaking with his pediatrician hat on, commented on Tran's bill on WTOP Radio's Ask the Governor.
The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. So I think this was really blown out of proportion.
And he has no regrets. Who can blame him? It's in line with the party platform. Democrats believe unequivocally in abortion for all women who want 1, 2, or 5. They are committed to creating a society where children are safe. Don't you see? This is for the children.
I now call the House to order on behalf of all of America's children. Go kids! Go kids!
Except we know she's not for the kids. Neither is Kamala Ding Dong Harris, who wants to be president.
And we cannot tolerate a society and live in a country with any level of pride when our babies are being slaughtered.
Oh wait, you do want the innocent to live?
And let's be clear about what this is about. It's about government taking on the decision about a woman and what she does with her body instead of giving that woman and her family and her God the power to make the decision for herself.
I knew it was too good to be true. Harris, like damn near every politician, is for the kids when it's politically expedient and not a moment before or after. However, one of the 2020 candidates, and by candidates I mean the current president, said something good. President Trump needs to retweet this every day until the election. Democrats are becoming the party of late-term abortion, high taxes, open borders, and crime. Plus, we found one Republican senator with a somewhat erect spine. Ben Sasse put forth the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act, which would penalize doctors and medical professionals who don't provide medical care to those babies who survive abortions.
Everyone in the Senate ought to be able to say unequivocally that killing that little baby is wrong. This doesn't take any political courage. And if you can't say that, if there's a member of this body that can't say that, there may be lots of work you can do in the world, but you shouldn't be here.
But the Republican is not the only elephant in the room, because both parties benefit from not standing up for babies. In 2 words, Planned Parenthood. Taxpayers pay Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood pays politicians in contributions. Politicians continue getting reelected and making taxpayers pay Planned Parenthood. Like that $500 million we all paid in the last omnibus.
Because I win.
This is bullshit.
That's the process. Pissed off yet? It gets worse. New Planned Parenthood president, Dr. Lena Wen, even corrected a BuzzFeed article's assessment of Planned Parenthood's mission. She said, "Our core mission is providing, protecting, and expanding access to abortion and reproductive health care. We will never back down from that fight." And they aren't. So you need to know the truth. Let's hear Dr. Anthony Levatino, a former abortionist, about how Planned Parenthood's core mission is carried out.
A D&E procedure is a blind abortion, so picture yourself introducing this and grabbing anything you can blindly and pull, and I do mean hard, and out pops a leg about that big, which you put down on the table next to you.
And repeat until everything is pulled out. That's Planned Parenthood's core mission. But that was a second trimester abortion. Remember, the newest claim is for third trimester and even murder after birth. That was the original mission, too. Margaret Sanger wanted to control the population, specifically the black population, who she saw as having unfit members needing to be weeded out. In a letter to her eugenics colleague, Dr. Clarence Gamble, she wrote about the Negro Project.
She stated that, "We do not want word to go out that we want to exterminate the Negro population, and the minister is the man who can straighten out that idea if it ever occurs to any of their more rebellious members."
Such weeding out is successful in New York City, where in recent years more black babies were aborted than born alive. And what do you know? It's the state of New York where you are now allowed to have an abortion all the way up to birth without any serious restriction. Those were the lawmakers heard clapping and whooping that more babies will be killed in New York. Can't we agree that this message is much more inclusive and worth fighting for? Now let's applaud something actually worth its weight, and it's from a performer. Actor Ashton Kutcher made a 2017 C-SPAN video clip go viral a few days ago, and it's quickly apparent why.
I am a man with Down syndrome, and my life is worth living.
What politicians, PhDs, and physicians want to do is make it so that people like Frank Stevens don't exist. And for those who already do exist, there is a push to make them a byproduct of the cultural demise. Many of the pundits are dismissive on this issue because it hurts their narrative. But I did find one clip from mainstream media that sums it up quite nicely.
If Roe v. Wade is repealed, women cannot get reproductive health care. This is about a woman's right to choose, and you as a man should not have a single say in that.
Wow. And that's how Tucker Carlson responded, too. According to Monica Klein, men have no right. So that means Governor Northam has no right, then, to discuss this, right? I mean, I assume he identifies as a male. But then again, maybe he identifies as one of these males. Does that make a difference? Tucker goes on to ask Ms. Klein if she has thought about her argument, and you can guess how she responded. But for the rest of us, do think. And think of it all like this. Planned Parenthood wants the purse to pay for murder. Politicians and parties will pass legislation providing possibility because they provide taxpayer pennies equaling plenty to pay for their own election to power. Progressive philosophy plays its part in purposely preoccupying people with problems of patriarchy and preferred pronouns to pivot from propositions of truth. That personhood is precious and provided by divine providence. Because in the end, it's all about power versus the people. And power will win every time. It takes people to stand up to it, not politicians. People must publicly demand and unite in your present place if lives are to be preserved. Until next time, stay healthy, America.